The following is an opinion show, and nothing said in this show should be taken as fact or be taken literally. They're just goofing around, trying to have fun. You do like to have fun, don't you? Also, this show is not for kids, so listener discretion is advised. Welcome to this week's episode of Geekus Speakus, everyone. My name is Dean.
And I'm Bryan, and happy Merry Winter Holiday Festivals.
Yes, very happy Merry Winter Holiday Festivals in January. Is there anything
Well,
happening?
yeah, that's when you celebrate. That's when I celebrate my Winter Holiday Festivals. I mean, I just did it last night. I got a gift card and a bunch of little Simpsons Legos.
Nice.
Yep. And there was no dupes. It was a Winter Holiday Festival miracle.
Okay. I sat around my house because it's snowing a bit around here, and I don't do well with ice, so I just kind of sat around.
I don't do well with ice either, and Portland has a tendency to ice up. But yeah, no, I did my gift exchange with friends. A friend got me a bunch of those blind bag minifigs for Simpsons,
Mm-hmm.
and managed to not get me any duplicates.
Hmm.
No, Portland is terrible with ice. Let me explain Portland's snow problem to y'all. So Portland doesn't get a lot of snow.
Mm.
And people are like, "Oh, okay, you only get like an inch of snow or so. That's nothing." Oh, that's what I hear. It's like, "Oh, you barely get any snow. That's not troublesome at all." Like, no, no. Here's the problem. So Portland gets like 2 inches of snow. Thing is during the afternoon, it gets warm enough that it starts to melt, but not warm enough that it melts all the way.
Right.
And then at night,
It refreezes.
it refreezes.
Right.
But Portland is so moist and wet that on top of that, we get that drizzle. So basically, snow turns into like a solid block of ice the next day
Right.
that is just covered in a slick sheen of water.
Kind of sounds like Missouri during the winter,
Yeah.
but with more snow. Because it will like right now the snow is melting because the sun's out. It's only like 30 degrees, but all that melting snow is going to turn back into ice when things start freezing over again.
Yep, that's how it is. And like I've heard people from like, "Oh, I lived in Chicago. This is nothing." And I'm like, "Well, that's because also since Portland gets so little snow, we don't have the infrastructure to handle it."
Good. I mean, it's not that hard. Just throw out some like uh, tiny gravel and a little salt mixed together. That way you get traction. You can melt some of the ice. Keep the road
We
safe.
don't have it's like we have to actually we don't have that in stock kind of thing.
How do you not? Ice is there every year. How do you not have that in stock? That would be like priority
And
number
we
one.
actually have to bring in snowplows from other cities. It's because we don't get snow every year. We get ice, but the ice is usually melted around like we'll get freezing rain and I'll create ice, but we don't get snow every year.
Right. But even if you don't get snow, I mean, surely you guys would have like the Department of Transportation trucks that can just drop gravel to add traction to the ground, a little bit of salt to melt the
I
ice.
think we also have like weird rules about ice. We have some weird rules, but I know it's like we just don't have the infrastructure for it. It's weird, and it causes problems when it does happen. Um, because we're not a place that gets snow regularly. We do get freezing rain, and freezing rain is fucking scary.
That's why I'm surprised that they don't have an infrastructure for at least the freezing rain. I get the snow; it's kind of a rare occurrence, but the freezing rain surprises me. You don't have anything set up for that.
I think we do, but like it's one of those. I think we do have it for freezing rain. Because I know when we get the snow, we put the stuff down, but it doesn't help. I think it might help the cars, but it doesn't help the people walking.
Oh no, it never does. I was talking about admittedly because I drive everywhere, so maybe because of that, I thought of like driving into that town this time of the year would be difficult. But yeah, they really haven't put anything down for just pedestrians walking.
You know what helped?
Hmm.
I bought a pair of chains for my boots.
I was about to say, did you get the ice walking things for over your shoes? I forget what they're called.
Yeah, the chains for my boots. I got those,
Nice.
and those actually help a lot.
I would imagine so. Yeah. Kind of like ice cleats.
You still gotta walk carefully, but like no, they help a lot. They're really nice, and it's like this is like one of the best things I've bought.
I was to say, because you're trying to get me out to go to Portland. I was like, you don't have an infrastructure for ice? I'm terrified of driving on ice.
Well, that's why you go anytime that's not like January.
Don't go to the coldest part of the year where the land is forgotten by the sun.
Yep. You just gotta go when it's wet. Don't go when it's freezing, go when it's wet. So it's been a warm, wet winter. So we actually haven't had any freezing rain either.
Oh, lucky.
But it's an El Nino season, so we're just getting like warm and wet stuff. So
I gotcha. We've already had 2 ice incidences, I guess. Like yesterday it snowed, and about a week prior it was kind of annoyed me because they were talking like a big major snowstorm. All it ended up doing is some of the ice. I mean, it was a lot of ice, but some of the ice stuck to trees, causing a lot of like tree limbs to go down. That was basically it.
did have a pretty nasty windstorm a couple weeks ago
Okay.
that like knocked down people's trees and all that other stuff. And like we had like I think it's like gusts of like 30 miles per hour. Like it wasn't like
Yeesh.
you're like tornado bad, but it was like just a straight up windstorm.
Right. I know, I gotcha.
So
You mentioned tornado. Where I live is actually rarely do tornadoes ever come to this area, believe it or not.
but you live in Missouri.
Yeah, well, the thing is, tornadoes don't like hills, and I live in the Ozark mountain range. So,
Okay.
because I live in a
Yeah,
mountain
well,
range, they're not really that common.
we don't get. I think we actually had a tornado this year over like in a weird part of town, but it was a tiny one that like knocked down a few trucks. But yeah, we're pretty mountainous. We're pretty hilly as well, so we don't get a lot of it here either.
Yeah.
But we do get gusts when they come through like it just where we create like a funnel that like wind will push through,
Mm-hmm.
and so when we do get windstorms, they can get pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
I live in an area where they don't get too bad, but when you get over to like the east side, like the far east part of the Portland area,
Mm-hmm.
towards like Gresham, it gets pretty bad. Like, or even when you're over in Tigard in the far west side, it can get pretty bad. I was walking home and a gust hit me that actually like pushed me back.
Oh, yeah, I've had that happen before.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then the other thing that today, fucking, so Snickers came out with like these new like flavors. So you know, they like the peanut butter one, which is one they've had before, but they had a maple butter
Ooh.
one, and it's pretty good.
That sounds not good, though.
I like maple.
I mean, on occasion, maple's fine, but just a maple butter Snickers? Ugh.
Well, it's maple almond butter,
Uh,
and it replaces like it has like it's pretty good.
Is it like replace the nougat? Is that what it
It's
is?
replacing the peanuts, I want to say.
Oh.
Looking at it's almonds. At least this one is almonds, maple flavored caramel, and milk chocolate. So it doesn't have the nougat, and it doesn't have the peanuts,
Okay. Fine.
and it's pretty good.
Well, I know it's a weird thing to complain about, but you lose me at the almonds. I really don't like almonds.
So does a lot of people, but like almonds are my favorite nut. You know what nut I don't care for?
Huh.
I'm not a big fan of the walnut.
It's okay. On occasion. I don't.
Not yeah, walnuts and cashews. I really don't like cashews. Like I hear people, my friends are like, "Oh, that's the best nut. It's the only nut I'll eat." I'm like, it's just a glorified peanut.
What is that nut that is super common back in Fresno? Like they put it in everything.
The pistachio?
No. I mean, I love pistachios, but no, it's another one. I hate the taste. It tastes like cyanide almost.
Pecans?
No, I mean pecans are okay, but no.
I can't remember what it is. I just remember having it as a kid, and I hated the taste, like, always.
Do you
Every
remember
single
what it
time.
looks like?
Almost like granola. Not granola, but it's almost like granola. At least that's how it's served.
Hmm.
Kind of a gravelly kind of texture.
I don't know.
I'll
I
look
don't.
into
I don't
this
think
for
I've
you.
ever had that.
I'll look into it. Admittedly, I spent a lot of time in Madeira. Not
Well,
for
when you say cyanide, I immediately think almonds because
it could be. I don't know. Something about almonds always just doesn't like. Whenever I eat it, I was like, something about this reeks of terrible, just terrible. I don't like almonds.
I like almonds, but I like almonds. All
With
right,
I do have one exception, by the way. I do like almond joys.
almond joys are good.
Yeah, I think it's
Like
just
that coconut, that piece of almond. That's it. All goes together pretty well.
yeah. Well, I think I like it because the almond just adds a texture to it. That's the only reason I
Yeah.
like it. Like I really love it as a chocolate covered coconut, and the almond just adds a nice texture to it. I think that's the reason why I like it.
Because you know what? Here's the thing. Mounds is the same thing without the. Well, it has dark chocolate, but it's the same thing, but without the almond, and the mound just doesn't do it.
Yeah, it's not the same, but
You need that crunch.
to be fair, I think at this point they could replace the almond with anything else, and I'd be okay with it. Here's almond cashew joy. That sounds weird.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see just adding a bit of crunch in there would be pretty good.
Well, that's basically all that really, for me anyway. Maybe someone actually enjoys the almond taste, but for me, you're just adding texture to it. So you could replace it with basically any other nut, and it would be fine.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into this.
All right.
So first, we start with trailer talk.
Trailer talk, 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 talk.
Drop the bass. Um, the first one we're gonna go over here is the trailer for the new Spider-Man movie.
Yep, Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Um,
Which I wish Fahey hadn't said one thing about this movie because he's like, "Oh yeah, this movie definitely takes place after Avengers 4." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, thanks. All right, cool."
alright,
Because
fair.
nothing in the trailer signifies that it took place after Avengers 3.
Mhm.
And now you just spoiled that, oh, Spider-Man and Nick Fury, I'll be fine.
Oh, I figured they would be. That's the thing,
Oh,
though.
I knew they would be, but at the same time,
You wanted that tinge of I could be wrong.
yeah, I could be wrong. This could be like Ant-Man 2, where it was released after Avengers 3 but took place before it. And
Right,
like this could have been like a direct sequel to Spider-Man 1,
right.
Spider-Man Homecoming. And but no, Faye's like, no, this takes place after Avengers 4, so like Spider-Man's back and Nick Fury's back and but no, Spider-Man versus Fishbowl Head.
Now, now I want to point out a few things because it was speculated a few months ago. Whenever you see the scene with Spider-Man getting hit by water, that Hydra Man's going to be in this. But Mysterio is a big fat liar. I don't think that's Hydra Man. I think that's an illusion.
I think it's an illusion too.
Because one, he can't shoot beams out of his hand. I mean,
Oh no, this is totally there's a Mysterio story.
uh huh,
I think this is gonna follow where Mysterio acts like a new hero,
uh huh.
and he's like, "Look at me, I am Mysterio. I'm so great." But he's actually like doing crimes, and he's just pretending to like fight his own crimes.
My
But
only, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
but that one had a big thing of J. Jonah Jameson backing Mysterio, which I don't
Oh,
think will happen in this one.
okay. I have a question as to why he backed Mysterio, given that he hates people en masse. That aside, though,
It's
Gyllenhaal
because
showed.
he's not Spider-Man.
Oh, gotcha. Um, Gyllenhaal quite literally shows his face, and how? I mean, that doesn't seem like a good idea if you're trying to be an anonymous superhero who's stealing people's shit. Just saying.
That's yeah. Well, we do get a scene real quick in the trailer of him with his fishbowl on. So maybe he just shows his face to like a certain group of people, but not to like everyone. Because the one thing about Mysterio is Mysterio has always been like super narcissistic,
Right.
and that might play into it. Of like, I want everyone to know who I am. I'm the greatest.
Oh, like Stark.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Just looking into this, excuse me. When I was watching the trailer, I was like, "This looks very exciting." I don't think half of what's on the screen is like actually happening in the movie. I'm pretty sure most of this is an illusion. Like you see,
Yeah, probably.
like I saw one was a rock monster. A friend of mine was like, "It's probably Sandman." It's like, I don't think that's Sandman. I think that's an illusion made by Mysterio.
It's probably an illusion. Oh, the other thing I've run into is people are like, "Why didn't Peter's Spidey sense go off with Nick Fury?" And it's like, well, it's because Nick Fury's not a threat.
Yeah, it only detects threats.
Yeah, that's why Nick Fury's not a threat to him.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't. He's not a threat to Peter Parker. Not so it wouldn't have kicked in. However, they just really like screwing Ned over, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm actually looking forward to this. I can't wait for this to come out. Although I'm a Spider-Man fan, so we'll see how this works out.
I'm looking forward to it too. It looks decent.
Oh, we get to see 2 new Spider-Man outfits. One was just kind of a last-minute glimpse towards the end of the trailer, and one was the black and red Spider-Man suit. Given the array of suits that he has had, I just want to point that out. Also,
Yeah.
are we just going to ignore the fact that Aunt May knows he's Spider-Man?
Well, no, he remember in the end of Homecoming.
Why don't I remember this?
It might have. It was at the very end of Homecoming. She walks in on him, changing, and it ends with "What the f," and credits.
Oh. Wow. Shit. Normally I remember
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I don't know why that like dropped my mind.
Yeah, no, she totally knows that he's Spider-Man.
All right. Well, cool. I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait for it to come out in theaters.
Yep. All right, so this next one's not coming out to theaters. Another Netflix movie.
Speaking of Gyllenhaal, by the way.
Yep.
We get Velvet Buzzsaw.
This movie seems weird.
I have lost interest almost immediately after watching it because the concept sounds kind of stupid, Dorian Gray.
Yeah, well, basically what it is it's high art stuff that like, is cursed and people die.
And whatever is trying to kill him is targeting Gyllenhaal for the most part. And
Yeah. The premise from the Wikipedia. After a series of paintings by an unknown artist are discovered, a supernatural force enacts revenge on those who allowed their greed to get in the way of art.
Wikipedia will forever be the name of that on this show, by the way. I love that, the Wikipedia.
You've never heard Wikipedia before?
I've never heard someone say Wikipedia. And now
Oh yeah, that's how all my friends. That's how all of my friends out here call it. We all call it the Wikipedia.
Well, that is now that what we're going to call it on the show, the Wikipedia.
All right.
Anyway,
we need to go on your that wiki podcast that we're friends with, and just keep calling it the Wikipedia through the entire episode. Well, I'm checking the Wikipedia.
According to the Wikipedia here,
I might watch this out of curiosity, but that's because I like a suspense movie, and I like weird high art performance pieces stuff. And I want to know what's up with that hobo robot.
I mean, that's pretty weird, but I'm gonna go with a hard pass on this one. It does not look like it would be good. Kind of like how I passed on Bird Box. I was like, this doesn't look interesting at all.
Apparently, a lot of people are like, "Oh, this movie's actually terrible. Why does everyone like it?" And I'm like, I don't know. I liked it. It was decent.
I don't know. Like, neither really interest me. I will give them this. This is more original than a lot of other horror movies because Right now, we're just flooded with terrible horror movies.
This reminds me a lot of that weird, like, 70s psychological fiction stuff, like Phantasmagoria and shit like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It does kind of give that same kind of vibe.
Where I want this movie to have, like, a kick-ass, like, synth soundtrack.
Well, I did get a MIDI keyboard, so maybe one of these days I'll just steal a scene and throw in some like.
Do, 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 do.
I don't know. Like I said, it's gonna be a hard pass on me for this one for Velvet Buzzsaw. I'm good. I'm not
That's fine.
I'm not gonna
I
discourage.
understand.
I'm not gonna discourage creativity because certainly, while this is not super original, it's not something that's been overflooded with. I just have no interest in it.
Gotcha.
Let's go to the next one, and that is the trailer for John Wick 3. I've not seen 1 and 2.
I need to see 1 and 2, but John Wick 3, The Wickening.
The Wickening, yes. John.
Uh,
I mean, the dog's alive. People talk about how they thought the dog was dead. The dog's alive.
This one looks like he's being betrayed by his assassin network, which I feel really bad about the assassin network.
Yeah.
They're all gonna die.
Yeah, really. I mean, I haven't seen John Wick. I just know that when people try to take him out, they tend to die.
Yeah.
Why would you go after the assassin who assassinated assassins? That seems like a bad idea.
I think he may be assassinating too many assassins, so they gotta assassin him.
Oh, okay. So they're assassinating too many assassins, they're gonna assassinate him by assassinating him.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, this looks pretty good. Maybe when the fight comes out in DVD, I'll buy a trilogy.
Oh, that'd be cool. I would probably get the trilogy that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I've not seen the first or the second one, so maybe I'll just wait for all 3 to come out and just buy them all 3 at once.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Are you gonna go? Do you think you'll see this?
Probably not in theaters, but I'll probably do what you do.
Yeah,
and
it's like the trilogy.
Yeah, get them all, watch them all at once.
I've heard good things about it. It's just I haven't had the initiative to go watch it. I don't know. Maybe Keanu Reeves. Something about Keanu Reeves makes me not want to watch movies immediately.
Right?
Maybe it's because he did like a series of bad sci-fi movies back in the 90s. Who knows? I don't know. I'll watch this eventually. I'm probably just gonna wait for it's on DVD or if it's on Netflix or whatever.
No, you gotta do is you gotta have somebody watch it, but secretly put like Constantine in the middle of it and convince them it's part of the series.
Man, when did John Wick have demons in this? I don't remember it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
Demons have always been in John Wick. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't you paying attention to the first one?
Yeah. You obviously weren't.
All right, so going on this next one, so how the fuck did the RVB guys afford this cast?
I don't know. First off, good job, Rooster Teeth. Love your shows. How the fuck did they afford Michael B. Jordan, David Tennant, Maisie Williams, and Dakota Fanning for the next show that's coming out this year, Genlock?
Right?
How in the actual fuck? Like,
actually, you know what I think I heard is I think we ran into this a couple months back. Is Michael B. Jordan asks to be on the show?
Did he? I mean, my memory.
I think so. I think so. I think he came to them and was like, "Hey, I want to be on your guys' show."
My memory is shite, so I don't remember this, but I do know he said he was an anime fan, so this does make a lot of sense.
But like, oh yeah, and Monica Rial, the voice of Bulma from the Dragon Balls, but Genlock, Rooster Teeth's Mecha Show, of David Tennant, and I looked. Okay, so here's the thing: I was watching the trailer, and I'm like, that sounds like David Tennant's Scrooge McDuck voice. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Oh shit, that is David Tennant. Looking at more. Michael B. Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Maisie, what?
Yeah.
How do you guys afford this?
How indeed? I think it's that Ruby money, honestly. Because
It has to be.
right now they have merchandise for Ruby. They have manga for Ruby. The actual show. They have DVDs out for the series.
And this isn't one of those cases where they're just gonna, maybe David Tennant's just gonna voice one voice, but like it looks like Michael B. Jordan, Maisie Williams, and Dakota Fanning are playing like main characters.
Yeah, yeah. And David Tennant looks like he's playing a main character too, from the looks of it. He plays like what looks like their trainer.
Yeah, their doctor guy who probably made the mechs, and it's like, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I was a fan of Rooster Teeth back, before Machinima, back when they had like a barely cobbled together website.
I remember having to download the drivers so I could play AVIs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Their original video player was shite too.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember them way, way, way back in the day, and now they're able to afford fucking David Tennant, Michael B. Jordan, Maisie Williams, and Dakota Fanning.
Right?
It's so weird. It's weird.
I know. Huh.
It's a weird feeling, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, we talked about how weird it is, but honestly, the trailer looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I probably will watch it when it come out.
It looks like it's the same kind of like it's that like 3D anime style, which it's not my favorite, but it's fine.
I like it and I don't like it. If it's all the 3D like CG anime style, I'm fine with it. But then you'll get the shows like Berserk, which tries to like blend the two, and it just looks terrible.
Yeah,
That's when I hate it. I don't. This looks pretty good. I think I'll watch it when it comes out later. It's going to come out in the latter half of January, so I'll probably watch it.
yeah.
Let's see. Then we get a trailer for the new season of Punisher.
Yep, the last season of Punisher.
I mean, it looks fine.
Yep, it looks Punisher-y.
He's fine. He's wearing the skull again because they only did it for the intro of the first season of Punisher.
And he has his Punisher van. It looks like he's traveling around. I checked the Wikipedia again real quick just to see who the bad guy was, and it's the Mennonite. So they're portraying him as like basically he's a religious white supremacist dude.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
guess I can get behind somebody killing a religious white supremacist dude.
Yep.
Killing him. I mean, it looks pretty good. I've never really been a Punisher fan. But I mean, the good thing about the Punisher series, it feels like a, not Die Hard per se, but kind of like a Lethal Weapon kind of feel to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's very action movie-y, excuse me. So I guess I can generally get behind it, but I don't consider myself a Punisher fan.
Nice.
Um,
But yeah, no, and we got this one, and we got Jessica Jones left.
yeah. Oh, and the season's already out, by the way, for the.
Oh
new
yeah, I
season.
need to watch it. I'll probably watch it today.
I need to finish my current season of Punisher.
Mm,
I just finished the last season of The Magicians on Netflix, and I freaking love that show.
I never got into it. I tried watching it, but I just couldn't get into it.
You kind of have to get through the first season because then on the latter half of the first season when things start really picking up. Like this last season, it was really good, and the new season's coming in like 6 days. So I'm looking forward to that. I have to find a way to watch it.
Gotcha.
And then we have a new trailer for the last season of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
I like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. It's adorable. It's and the last season kind of ended on like a cliffhanger, so I'm glad we're getting another season.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have never seen an episode of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
It's pretty good. It's decent. It's a good comedy.
I don't know. I've been straying a bit far from comedies nowadays, but I think I might do a return here soon, so I'll probably check that out.
I would totally recommend it. If you don't know the plot, she was basically like kidnapped by a cult for like her entire life,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like so she never got a chance to actually grow up and stuff. It's her learning the magical world of the 2010s when she got kidnapped in like 90s, like 19 in the 90s.
Huh.
So yeah,
No, right then.
yep.
Um. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the news.
News.
So, this, I think these two bits of news stories are conjoined. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but
Yes, they are joined.
was it Disney struck down a fan film,
Yeah.
a Star Wars fan film, and then LucasArts saved it? Is that right? Or
Yeah,
Lucasfilm?
LucasArts turned around and told Disney to take down um
The
the
copyright
strike,
strike.
and they did.
It's a little surprising. One, not that Disney took it down. That's kind of a given. Um, but LucasArts went ahead and said, no, it's fine. Because LucasArts has also, in the past, been kind of sue happy as well. That's I'm a little surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this fan film, by the way?
No, I have not.
I'm tempted to go see this now that LucasArts has. I mean, I don't know if Disney actually took down the strike, but if it is, I'm going to go check it out.
They did, but reading further on it,
Mm-hmm.
the guy's like, "Well, I guess I'm just done. I don't want to get another strike." And but it's like LucasArts, like, "No, you have our blessing."
Yeah. They must have liked it, or at the very least, still like the idea of people contributing to it who are not Disney. So,
Right. I like that LucasArts still has some say on what happens to Star Wars stuff.
I mean, they're owned by Disney.
Or Lucasfilms, LucasArts. If I said LucasArts, I mean Lucasfilms.
Yeah, well, it's technically, I believe, all the same company. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
anymore, but LucasArts covers video games. Lucasfilms does, well, obviously films.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, good on the guy. I mean, I understand where he's coming from though when he said, "I just don't want to do this anymore." Because if you, I mean, I've thought about doing a fan film, but when you put your heart and soul into something and somebody
Oh.
just strikes it down like
They're
that,
surprisingly expensive, and you can't make any money off of them.
literally you can't. That's why I never got why people, uh, like Disney struck down this kind of thing because they can't make money off of it. The most they
Right?
could do is like, hey, sign up for our Patreon.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, well, I guess anything they don't like, who knows? Jeez,
Yeah.
Disney, your authoritarianism is coming out, Disney.
All hail Mouse.
The mouse. Um, let's go ahead and go over the next one here. I'm getting so fucking tired of this shit.
Another live action Disney movie. This time it's The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Why do they keep making live? Do something original, Disney. You have.
But we
the
need
ability.
to bulk upon people's nostalgia of the 90s.
Fucking hell.
So
Okay.
if alright, you know what? I will accept this one, but only if the hell imagery gives people nightmares and makes parents upset.
Part of me wants to say if you can get Alan Rickman again, but he's kind of super dead, so.
Yeah, he is kind of super dead.
Which sucks, but. Or maybe it was Jeremy Irons who played the priest.
No, Tony J.
It was Tony J?
It was Tony J.
They wanted some Hellfire. That guy.
Yeah, it's Tony J.
He sounds a lot like Irons for some reason in the song.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, no, get if you can do Hellfire and have the hell imagery of it actually enough to like scare religious parents, I will accept it.
For accepting people different from you, because that's basically what his issue was. Well, what he scared them into doing. They're different from us. Kill them. That's what he said.
Here's the thing. If you get the religious right to be afraid of that part, it'd be like, this is literally what you guys are trying to do.
Oh, I get what you're saying. No, they'll just cause controversy. They're not going to do that. It's Disney, for God's sake. They're not. I mean, remember whenever they announced that one character was going to be gay in the Beauty and the Beast movie, and people flipped their shit? He wasn't even a major character.
Barely even gay.
Well, the stupid thing was, he wasn't even a major character in the last movie. He was just kind of like a, oh, you're so great, Gaston, and that was it. And then
But that's how he was in the cartoon.
And then they brought him in the movie, which admittedly I haven't seen the Beauty and the Beast live action
either, but I've seen enough to know I'm not going to watch it.
Same.
Because Emma Watson can't sing.
Good actress, can't sing. There was one side character who is now gay for that, and they flipped their shit. Imagine the shitstorm they would receive if they used the hella imagery to tell people that xenophobia is wrong.
Though knowing Disney, I think they might do it.
Oh, yeah, they do like to cause uproars in order to draw more of an audience out of spite.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done things out of spite pretty often.
That's how I do most things.
Spite fueled. That'll be our first t-shirt, by the way. Spite fueled.
Spitefield, and I got this shirt in Guam.
I had to buy this shirt in America Samoa.
The best way to get me to do something isn't to like, oh, you can do it, or like, I believe. No, it's to tell me I can't do it, and then I get spiteful, and then I do it. It's the best way to inspire me.
You can't do this. Fuck you, I can't do this.
I don't know who the fuck I am. Of course I can do this.
You can't tell me what the fuck I'm doing.
But it's like, oh, you can do this.
I don't know.
But do I really want to? I guess. I don't know. I'll wait for more trailer stuff to come out, but I probably won't be watching it.
This will be a hard pass. The only live action thing I think I'm gonna watch is, and I hate using this term because it's not actually live action, and that's The Lion King.
In Yahweh.
Here is the lion, here it is. I know.
Oh my god, it's a lion. It's a lion. Holy shit, it's a lion. Would you look at that lion?
Next bit of news here is that IMDB is now starting its streaming service called Free Drive, in which it will show movies and television with commercials over it.
Yeah, I've seen these things before. I know people who use them. I never do.
I've already looked at the catalog, and so far, I mean, you can go watch Big Fish, so I guess there's that. But most of it is not really worth watching right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a couple IMDb originals on there. You can always check out if you wanted to. Not like shows, but it's a lot of like the breakdown of stuff, yeah.
Gattaca. Memento.
Yeah.
Those are decent.
Okay, a lot of stuff I wouldn't care for, I should say that.
Wait, what? No, hold on a second. I found a link. So the first link is how a 2-hour game of Uno became IMDb's highest rated comedy. And it was Uno the movie was born out of a 2.5-hour Let's Play video from Rooster Teeth's Achievement Hunter in it.
What the fuck?
In the game, the guys play a game of Uno that slowly becomes filled with expletives, scream of anguish, and maniacal laughter. So the highest rated highest rated comedy on IMDb is a Rooster Teeth Let's Play from Achievement Hunter.
Alright, may have to watch that actually. That sounds pretty good.
It's got a 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's what?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, no, okay. if the free drive gives me that, sure, why
Yeah.
not?
Fair enough. I think I'm in on that.
Yep, yep. It's like almost 3 hours of Uno. That's a long ass Uno game.
That's a long ass Uno game. You're supposed to like build points and shit in Uno. I think after that, it's like we're good. Whoever won this round won the game. Jeez. I don't know. If they add a bit more content, I think this could be a good thing.
Possibly, yeah, it could definitely be a good thing. What I'd like to see is having it be able to get like like I want to see a list of like AFI's top 100 films on there, or the BFI's top 100 films or something,
Right.
or the worst rated films on IMDb. Cause yeah,
Yeah. Maybe they could work with Rotten Tomatoes on that one. The worst
Right?
films on IMDb. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna segue.
Segway.
Sequels I'd never expected to come out. Oh
Yeah.
wait, I forgot to add this one. I'm gonna add one more thing after this one, but okay.
No, go ahead. So it was,
No. We'll talk about this one. I'm gonna add one more thing, because it's somewhat related. Um,
I'm both happy about this and also a little confused.
coming to America.
That's right.
Eddie Murphy hasn't been in a movie for a while.
I'm surprised they're bringing this back. I'm also not surprised because people keep banking on nostalgia. Anyway, we're getting a Coming to America sequel. How about that shit?
Right? With Hustle and Flow director Craig Brewer.
Brewer.
So I'm wondering if it's a thing of like now that Eddie Murphy is like James Earl Jones's age, or like supposed to be James Earl Jones's age kind of character, where he's now the dad
Right.
and he's the king, and now it's his kid that's doing the Coming to America thing. So looking at we would see Akeem's learning about his long lost son and returning to America, meet his unlikely heir to the throne of Zamuda. So yeah, he is playing the dad and he's meeting his kid.
Okay, so my question, given the situation, then is, how does he not know he had a son,
He
unless?
probably slept with a woman when he was visiting in America and didn't realize that he had a baby.
Well, I mean, it could have happened on screen, admittedly, or it could have been that his relationship didn't end well.
Probably. Or like, oh, I can't leave America. Well, I am king. Well, I can't leave America. Well, I am king. Blah 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 blah, and they just sort of split up.
Yeah. I mean, I love the first movie. Coming to America was a great movie, but I don't know if this. Do we need a sequel to this? I think is the question. Was there a demand for a sequel to this?
Probably not.
I
Probably not.
feel like it was a beloved movie that didn't need to go any further. I think it was the issue. Because I loved Coming to America. Pretty much everything Eddie Murphy did in the 80s was good. Coming to America and Trading Places is two of my favorite movies. We didn't need this.
No, we didn't. Speaking of things we didn't need, apparently they're making another Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be a direct sequel. It's supposed to be the actual Ghostbusters 3, but like at this point I'm like I didn't want Ghostbusters 3. The Lady Ghostbusters one that came out for a while got way too much hate. It was okay. I mean, my viewing on the Ghostbusters that came out recently
Mm-hmm.
was, it's not something I'd go out of my way to watch, but I wouldn't change the channel if it was on.
Right.
It had its moments where like, oh, that's funny.
I still haven't seen the 2016 Ghostbusters. Truth be told, I know the series. I know it's a beloved series. Honestly, I only liked the first one though. That was it.
Yeah, and Harold, like none of these guys really want, none of the actors really want to be in it.
Well, the guy who played Ego is dead, unfortunately.
Yeah, Egon is dead. Oh hey, I guess I'm looking at Eddie Murphy's filmography, and he's coming out in a movie this year, also directed by Craig Brewer, called Dolomite Is My Name, where he's Rudy Ray Moore. Oh, it's it's the biography of Dolomite stuff.
Oh, nice.
About the creation of the film. Yeah.
Well, hey, don't give out when the heat is about. It's
Yeah.
good. Um,
Oh, okay. So he's playing the guy who basically created who played Dolomite.
oh, gotcha.
Neat. It's a
Yeah.
Dolomite biopic, but I don't know. I don't think we need this Ghostbusters 3.
Look, the only one who seemed like they wanted this to come back was Aykroyd, and I think just because he hasn't done a movie, like a starring role in a while.
But Aykroyd's also kind of crazy.
Yeah. Murray did not want to come back at all.
No. Winston, I forget his name. Oh shoot, why am I forgetting his name? Just does bit parts right now.
Yeah.
When Ernie Hudson, and like the last thing he was in is he was a judge in like God's Not Dead 3.
Ew.
Yeah. He's been in the God's Not Dead movies.
They can't even get. Oh, what's his name? We've talked about him, and he's hilarious. He was in. He was like the, not the secretary, but he was he was one of the keys, the gatekeeper in the first movie.
Oh yeah.
He was part of Bob and Doug McKenzie.
No, I know who you're talking about. Oh, Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis.
But Rick Moranis retired from acting after his wife died.
Yeah. So how, like, are they just gonna piece together like a Blues Brothers 2000 sort of deal where they just kind of bring back one person once and just try and build a new thing? Like, what's the deal?
I don't know. I don't want this. This needs to not happen.
No one really wanted this. I mean, no one. Okay, people probably did want the 2016 version, so I'm not going to judge that one. But no one wanted a sequel to the original series.
I didn't want a sequel. I didn't want a remake, and the 2016 one was all right and doesn't deserve anywhere near the hate it gets.
Let me rephrase this. They probably wanted Ghostbusters 3, just not 30 years later.
Yes, there we go.
If you would have done it in the, mid 90s, probably would have been fine.
Yep.
But in 2019, no. We didn't nobody asked for this.
But yeah, no, he was a judge in God's Not Dead 2.
Ugh. Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, this next one.
Speaking
A movie that I really wish would have happened, and I want it to like be super corporate of like, this is what kids like, right? Like, that's how it has to be. It can't be like actually cool. It has to be like what corporate corporate America thinks is cool. There was nearly a sequel to Space Jam about skateboarding with Tony Hawk instead of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But I want to change it. Instead of just skateboarding, make it all extreme sports. Basically, make it Looney Tunes meet Rocket Power and make it super corporate. Like, yeah, I would have been all over that, especially now. Like, have it come out like 20 years ago, be like, oh, that sucked. But now, today, watching it going, this is terrible, I love it.
This
Merchandising, guys.
When I heard that found out this is the thing, was like, what? Okay, first off, I'm surprised you didn't do this, because they approached him in 2003. They approached Tony Hawk in 2003 to do this movie. I was like, I'm surprised you didn't do this. First off, this sounds like something somebody would waste their money on. Also, there's another podcast I listen to on occasion called Story Break, which made their own version of this. And any way they put it, not them specifically, just like the idea of skate jam, as what it was called.
Yeah.
It all sounds stupid. Everything about
no. And instead of having like an R&B filled soundtrack, have it filled with like pop punk.
It's pop punk and ska, my friend. Pop punk and ska.
Yeah. Could you imagine the Space Jam theme, but done by like, I don't know,
Real Big Fish.
No, I'm thinking more pop punk band.
Blink 182.
I was going more Sum 41, but yeah, Blink 182 will work. Why wasn't this movie made, and why isn't it terrible? And it has to be like, oh, this is super corporate. How do you do fellow kids? Kids like the skateboarding, don't they?
Makes me think of that not another teen movie where they got Steve Buscemi with a skateboard and go, "What's going on, fellow youths?"
Is that what that's from?
Yes.
I didn't realize it was from Not Another Teen Movie.
That is the only thing from not another teen movie I remember besides the fact that Captain America was in it.
Because, I know that scene. I've used it before of, how do you do, fellow kids?
I literally use that my day to day. Like a lot of my coworkers are either teen, or like young adults. Like we're talking like there's an age gap. I'm gonna be 28 here in February, and the second oldest person to me is 24. So
Jesus.
Yeah. So whenever they have to they invite me out to things, I'm like, "What's going on, fellow youths?" I feel like the old man of the group.
How do you do, fellow children?
Hello, fellow youths. Do you want to go play at the skate parks?
Yeah, no, it needs to come out too late. The soundtrack that's not cool with language that nobody actually uses.
We're going to, you gotta be careful, otherwise you're going to beef it. Do people still say beef it? Hey, if you're a skater and you listen to our show, do people still say beef it?
Yes, tell us, skateboarders.
I'd be surprised if you had a skateboarder audience, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, do you want, let's bring Skate
Bring in
Jam.
a Tech Deck reference in there?
Yeah, can we get a Tech Deck reference or 3? Come on, people. Let's make Skate Jam a real thing. Skate Jam.
Skate Jam. Bring Tony Hawk out of retirement.
Come on, everybody. We're gonna
That
do
was the thing.
Skate
It's
Jam.
perfect. Because you gotta remember, it was Michael Jordan coming out of retirement to help the Looney Tunes.
Yep.
Now we can have Tony Hawk come out of retirement to help the Looney Tunes.
Well, they're already talking about a Space Jam sequel or reboot or whatever, and they're going to get LeBron James. So I think we have to wait for that to come out first.
Direct sequel.
Want a direct sequel? The new Space Jam, the direct sequel will be Tony Hawk. Then we
Yep.
get Skate Jam 2020 or 2022.
Yep.
Come on, everybody.
And it's gonna be the most dated movie to ever come out.
Hell yeah, it will be.
Alright. Welcome to the Space Jam podcast, where it's nothing but Space Jam.
To Space Jam and its unofficial sequels. Woo!
Come back every week while we talk more about Space Jam. We're on our 4th year. You'd think we'd run out of stuff to talk about Space Jam by now, but nope.
Apparently fucking not. Oh boy.
Extreme,
Yes. Come on, guys. Hashtag Skate Jam 2022. Let's make this. Let's make this.
Space Jam 2022.
Gonna tweet that out. Hold on. Let me. Just give me a singular. You'll see this. I'm gonna actually put this on Twitter because why the fuck not?
Once you do it, I'm gonna go ahead and retweet it on mine.
Let's make it a reality. Hashtag Skate Jam 2022. And tweeted. You'll find that on Twitter.
All right.
Woo!
Retweet.
I think we have killed this joke already. Let us move on, shall we?
It is dead.
Yep. Dead in the water.
Speaking of dead in the water,
Star Trek 4 is in an indefinite hiatus, and I swear English is my first language. It's in an indefinite hiatus. They have no plans currently to go forward because they can't find a director, and Chris Pine wants to leave the series.
yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Wait, didn't they have Quentin Tarantino to be the director? I take that back.
I think at one point maybe. I don't know.
That would have been kick-ass. Oh well. I guess I'm not surprised by this. Honestly, they probably could have just ended out a trilogy anyway, if I were to be honest. Because we didn't really need another one.
We didn't need another one.
Like, even if we were digging a new Star Trek movie, maybe they should have moved on to a different cast, stepped away from the Kirk crew, maybe gone to Picard or not Janeway or what was that? I can't remember the name, but the one in Enterprise.
Cisco or Archer.
Yeah, Archer. Or
Archer takes place before original series stuff, so we'd have to go either Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, or Voyager.
What about because there's one. I want to say there's one after Voyager that was not Archer, or is my memory shite? My memory's probably just shite.
It was Deep Space. It went original series, Next Generation,
Deep Space Nine,
Deep
Voyager.
Nine, Voyager, and then it was Enterprise.
Enterprise. I want to say. I mean, obviously Discovery's out, but I'm not including Discovery on this list.
There was nothing else. There was movies, but there was nothing else.
Yeah, my memory's not doing well. Apparently, I thought there was one after Voyager besides Enterprise. Oh well. I'm not saying maybe they should go on to the Superior Captain with Picard. I just pissed off like half of our listeners, I swear.
No, it's true, and they know it. I will stand on that ground. Picard is the better captain.
Yep.
And if you think Kirk is, you are factually wrong.
I will say this. I mean, people hate Big Bang Theory, but they said one thing I always thought was true for me. Original series over Next Gen, but Picard over Kirk. Was actually how I felt before that show came out.
My problem with original series gets so much love and praise, but it's super short.
Yeah.
And kind of weird.
Well,
honestly, hands down, everything Next Gen. You know what's actually surprisingly good? Deep Space Nine.
That's what I hear. I'm having I gotta get myself to how to put it? I am a big Next Gen fan, but I've never watched the series in order. I have just watched individual episodes. And unlike original series, which I actually have watched in order. So there's a lot of stuff I need to I need to binge watch Star Trek, is what I'm saying. I
need to do the same. I need to sit there to actually watch through all of it, because there's huge gaps I'm missing.
Mm-hmm. Same here. I don't even remember. I don't think my memory is also shite, but I don't think I even saw the episode where Will Wheaton's character leaves the show for a while.
I've seen that one.
I don't recall seeing that one. I may have.
You go to the Academy.
Yeah. Admittedly, I haven't seen, not that, how to put it. I watched the show the majority as a kid. This was true for both series. But I think they should move on to Next Gen then. Get our, Will Riker, we get our Jean-Luc Picard, Dana Troy.
You know what? If they can do the guy who plays Picard and who plays Patrick Stewart in the new X-Men movies, get him to play the new Picard. Just keep that thing going.
I think we actually discussed this a few episodes ago about if you.
I think we did too.
We were just the guy who played Xavier in the X-Men movies replaces Stewart in the Star Trek reboot, Next Gen reboot movie.
Yeah.
I think we Dreamcasted this one time.
I think we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna move this around a little bit to work on the segue. There's gonna be a Star Trek spinoff.
Yes. There's gonna be a Star Trek spinoff based off of STD. You heard what I said. Based off of
STD.
STD, Star Trek Discovery. Yeah. There's gonna be a spinoff series for it.
Starring Michelle Yeoh's she's basically a mirror universe character of that character from Discovery, and it's from what I was reading on it, it does sound pretty good,
right?
Because it's like the adventures of Section 31,
right?
And that's super cool,
right?
So if you don't know what Section 31 is they're basically like the Black Ops of the Federation.
I'm aware. I'm merely
I was telling our audience.
Huh?
I was talking to our audience.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll go into time traveling. Let's not worry about that though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Section 31 show based off of Star Trek Discovery wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly. Because
No, it wouldn't.
as much as I love Star Trek, it's one of those series that that they rarely touch. It's kind of like Star Wars. They rarely touch the side stories, the stuff that doesn't happen on the large exploratory capital ships. You know, they don't really. It's always just
Right.
like, let's focus on this capital ship and its crew. It's really about other things that happen in the universe that are not in one of those capital ships.
Yep.
So it's like,
And
go ahead.
basically, yeah, no, it's going just on those ships. So I'd like to see him. I've been wanting, and that's actually one of the things I like about Deep Space Nine is, yeah, it takes place on this space station, but because it's a space station, you get a ton of different characters and different stuff happening.
Yeah.
It's about the location and not there. So I'd like to see this Section 31 show series go into different locations and doing missions. Like each episode or so is like a mission.
Yeah. The other thing, I just want to point that we're going to move on because there's another Star Trek bit of news here as well. But what I think is weird is that in the Star Trek series, they've not done a sequel to Voyager.
No, they haven't.
Now, admittedly, I have not watched the last episode of Voyager in a good long while. Did something happen at the end of it that has soured people from doing sequels? Because since then, it's always just been like prequels and reboots.
It's this Voyager is weird and is very decisive. Like Voyager just kind of, I don't know how to bring up Voyager. Like I liked Voyager, but a lot of people didn't.
This is gonna sound weird, requires a bit of explanation. I did not like their captain, not because she was a woman. It was just she was a shit captain.
She was a terrible captain, and there was a lot of weird shit that happened in there.
I'm how to put this? I haven't seen Star Trek Discovery, so I'm just going off of what I have seen based on original Next Gen and Enterprise and Voyager. But the captain is the lead of the show. Go ahead.
What?
What?
I'm sorry, I'm reading stuff on here, and apparently Chris Pike is in Discovery.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
In
is.
Discovery Season 2 premiere, brother, Captain Chris Pike leaves the damaged USS Enterprise to temporarily take command of the Discovery.
Yep.
What?
I take it you're a big fan of Pike.
I like anything with the old Enterprise crew. Pike. It's a connection there, and I'm like, this connection was missing, and I'm glad they have this connection there.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
That's cool. Okay, you know what? That's cool. I don't know why Voyager is. There's a lot of weird shit that happens up in Voyager that's just like that was super dumb.
Well, and I'm just confused because since Voyager, there's not been a sequel series. Because
No, there hasn't.
Enterprise was a prequel, and Star Trek Discovery is a prequel. And
Yep.
those are the two series that came after Voyager. So I'm like, because Bakula killed it. Bakula is actually one of my favorite. Yeah, he's above Shatner, to me. Bakula's Archer was above Shatner. It goes Picard, Archer, Shatner, and then Janeway. Because
I think it goes for me Picard, Cisco.
Was Cisco Deep Space Nine?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen it, so that's why I don't go that. There was a gap in my Star Trek viewing, and that was Deep Space Nine.
Shatner. I'm not sure which one's higher, Janeway or Archer. I guess Archer's a better one, but like, yeah, no, Janeway wasn't that great of a captain. Like, she was a good character. She just, I don't know. It just, I haven't seen Discovery either, so I don't know how the captain is on that one. But I don't know. I need to rewatch all of Star Trek.
Same.
And it looks like there is going to be another spin-off Star Trek show with Captain Picard.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to this. Can't wait for this to happen.
Yep. And it doesn't really tell us much of it, other than it's like a slightly different universe.
Yeah.
It might be related to the Abrams universe.
It could be. I don't know. Like, I'm looking forward to this.
Right?
I just hope they don't do the same shit that they're doing with this Michelle Yeoh and Star Trek Discovery. We had to pay for CBS All Access.
Yeah.
Getting tired of that shit.
Nobody wants your CBS All Access CBS.
If-
Can't you do what Fox and ABC do and just give it to us for free?
I just, play commercials. Hell, even CW does that. How do you think I watched Black Lightning for the first couple episodes?
Yeah, that's like my Roku has like everything. The only one I don't get for free is CBS. I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I'd rather deal with the commercials than pay for your damn streaming service. Or just do like Crunchyroll. Like, yeah, you
mix
can
them all
watch-
together.
It's like, yeah, you can pay to remove the commercials, but you can watch it for free as long as you watch commercials.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's
do that.
the best way to do it.
I'm not gonna pay because I want to see the Star Trek Discovery, but that's the only thing on your shit that I want to see. Anyway,
That's like the only thing I'm going to watch either too. It's like I'm not going to watch The Big Bang Theory or Young Sheldon. Ooh, I'm going to watch all of Young Sheldon. Welcome to the Young Sheldon podcast, where we talk about Young Sheldon.
show sucks.
It
End of series. Actually, I make
only lasted one episode.
I make a joke, but in our collective podcasting colleagues, I do know somebody who has a Ghost Adventure hate cast where they fucking just dunk on Ghost
Ghost
Adventure.
Adventures is terrible.
They just fucking dunk on Ghost Adventures. I was like, okay, I kind of like that actually. But let's go and move on. We've talked a lot about Star Trek.
Let's move back a bit on this list.
Well, I was gonna say, if I may, just because it still falls somewhat into this, I'm segueing
Okay.
here into
Okay.
the announcement of the new Space Force series.
Space Force. I want them to protect a space wall
A space
to
wall.
keep out the space Mexicans.
Gonna make Space America great again.
Yeah, make Space America great again.
So fucking stupid.
It's terrible.
They got Steve Carell and the showrunner of The Office to come back for a series called Space Force. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be a direct parody of everything Trump has done regarding the Space Force. I don't know. I kind of want to see this now, just based on concept alone.
Space Force.
I
I want it to be like a more office-y Galaxy Quest.
hold on. I want to detract from here. Can I just say, when the fuck are we getting our Galaxy Quest show? Because I fucking love that movie and I want them to make that into a show. Like,
They should make that into a show.
look,
Maybe this will be that Galaxy Quest show, and it'll feel like that.
Look, Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, whoever else is not listening, if you want, I will write you a spec script. Just make this a thing.
Yes.
I've never
make it
written
a
this.
thing.
I've never written a script in my life, but I want this show. I want Galaxy Quest to be a show.
Yes. Yes, it does.
But no, yeah, this could be pretty good. Steve Carell's a pretty funny guy, so hopefully they'll do something, pretty interesting and good with this. Be weird,
Right?
It'd be weird though if like they did like a Galaxy Quest like thing, and for some reason Steve Carell was like the defender of a ship, a space captain. That would be weird if Steve Carell was a space captain. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Space Captain.
I don't know. I mean, this could be fun. Then we have
Yeah. Unsolved Mysteries is coming back to Netflix.
I never watched a single episode of this show.
I did. It was like you know what? I feel it's the perfect time for this to come out because true crime is like super popular right now.
Oh yeah, like we could start a true crime podcast, and we'd probably like download wise, we'd probably doing a lot better with the true crime podcast.
and on top of this, Unsolved Mysteries actually solved a number of mysteries, and this took place in the pre-internet days.
Right.
Could you imagine how many shit this could help solve in the internet days?
Shit, people have stolen stuff in the internet, and it's been found like 2 days later somewhere else in the country because of the internet.
Right?
People get fucking vigilant nowadays.
Like, and then you add in the whole, because I honestly listen to a lot of true crime podcasts. So add that, the true, like if they can get the ladies from like My Favorite Murder to be on here.
Interesting note, because I've heard about this in other shows about the reboot they're doing here. You're not the first person to recommend those people.
It's a great podcast. It's an amazing podcast.
Um, I mean, this is good for people who love true crime. I'm really not a true crime person, honestly. Uh, there was one I did kind of like for a while until I just stopped listening to them. Nothing against the guys, but it just wasn't my thing. It was a small town murder.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think the two main ones I listen to. There's a couple other ones I listen to, but not on the regs. I think the ones I listen to regularly are My Favorite Murder and Last Podcast on the Left.
Nice.
And Last Podcast on the Left, I will admit, takes some getting used to.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to be very crass and stuff, but holy shit, the amount of research they put into it is what like they're doing great jobs. Like it took them 4 episodes to cover the same thing that other shows like try to put into like one episode, and these are like one. So like I had 2 podcasts doing the same like topic.
Mm-hmm.
One did it in like an hour, 1 episode. The last podcast from the Left guys had like 4 3-hour episodes, and they went in depth.
Oh, I want to make a slight like asterisk to what I said earlier. There is one that is technically a true crime podcast that I actually do listen to, and it's Serial with Sarah Koenig.
Okay.
That is the exception. Because
But yeah, no,
go ahead.
I highly recommend My Favorite Murder, and they just recently started their own podcasting network.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's go ahead and move to the next one here. So
Harry Potter of Assassins, which at first I'm like, oh, that seems kind of eh. But then I found out it takes place in the 80s, and I'm like, you know what? I can go for this.
well, two things. One, the idea sounds cool to me, where it's like, it's a school of assassins. It could be interesting. Also, they've already done this in anime form years ago. It just involved a giant space octopus. Well, not giant space octopus. A man-sized space octopus. I'm not
Yep.
joking. This is an actual thing. I don't know. It could be decent. I've heard good things about it so far.
I want this super, like, 80s soundtrack going on.
Okay, so like,
That's what I want. I wanted just to have an entire 80s soundtrack, and I want it to be super 80s. That's what draws me in. Like, Deadly Class, I've seen this before. Fine. But, like, if you can make it, like, they're saying it's like Mean Girls, but if you can make it 80s Mean Girls, I might actually look into it.
sounds to me like you just want to listen to an '80s Spotify playlist.
Oh, I mean, I have been listening to my 80s playlist. That's what I've been doing all week.
There you go. Seems like you just save yourself a bit of time by playing that. Then.
Oh, I know. Actually, if when I'm get my own place, I want to throw an 80s themed party.
Tubular.
Like radical.
Just don't serve green beans, otherwise I will grow you all over the place. Uh,
But yeah, no, I wanna do 80s. I don't know why, but shit, and I've been rewatching because I finished binging all of King of the Hill,
mhm.
so I moved on to regular show, and holy shit, I want to know how much of that series is budget is music, because they use so much licensed music in that show, not like fake
No.
not like, close enough covers, but no, they're using the actual songs.
Yeah, like Van Halen and Whitesnake, and yeah, I get.
And
what
I'm
you
like,
mean.
how much is this budget? This is amazing.
I've seen the show. It's a pretty decent show.
It is. It is. I had stopped watching like halfway through because life got in the way.
Right.
And so I'm like, you know what? I think that's the next show I'm going to binge through. So I'm like halfway through it.
I might.
And it's pretty good. Like there's like a lot of little stuff in there that I'm like, this actually, they are, that's kind of how I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I particularly like Rigby and Eileen's relationship throughout the series, because it's like, oh, he actually has character growth.
Yeah, well, because it seems very episodic until you realize, like, well, I mean, yes and no. as episodic, but they do go through character arcs.
Yep.
And unless you are, and I'm forgetting names because it's been a while since I've seen the show, but unless you are the raccoon, fuck character development.
Yep.
Um,
On that tangent, let's see here. Blah, 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 blah,
I'm
blah.
confused by
Harry
this
Potter.
management noise here.
Speaking of over the 80s and over the topness, I mean, it's not 80s, but it is over the. I hope it's over the top. 24 is getting a Japanese remake, and I want it to be insane.
I have many questions here. Now, 24 was already pretty insane and xenophobic, but it was at least centralized around the idea that it placated to America's fears regarding Muslims back in the early 2000s. That was the main villain at the time. What is the Japanese version going to be about?
I don't know, but I want it to be super anime.
But, like, because I think, is this going to be live action or is it going to be animated?
I think it's live action.
Who are the villains then?
The Chinese, the Koreans, America.
I mean, I didn't like 24 because it was really xenophobic, but if you're going to copy 24, what xenophobia are you going to placate to in Japan? Okay.
You know what? You know who I want to play
What's his face?
Jack Bauer?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you know how Kiefer
Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland is now voicing Solid Snake? Or not Solid Snake, he never voiced Solid Snake. How he's voicing Big Boss now?
Uh-huh.
I want the voice of the Japanese voice of Big Boss to play Jack Bauer.
Okay.
Have him voice the same. Have it go backwards.
Okay. You wanted to just like to reverse the whole thing?
Yep, reverse the whole thing.
Switch it all out? Okay. Alright, well that's a thing.
Yeah, I don't. Apparently, there was like a comedy thing of this Japanese comedian doing an impersonation of Jack Bauer, but like, I don't know. I'm confused by this.
It doesn't make sense for a lot of reasons, and like I said, the majority of it comes from is 24 was just placating towards people's xenophobia in America post 9/11.
Japanese 24 Japan's plotline will be based on season 1's, but modified to reflect the country's culture and suit governmental organizations. For example, in the remake, terrorists target Japan's first female prime minister.
Okay.
It's live action. The cast is yet to be announced. I honestly don't. Oh, it has a cult following in Japan.
Really? No.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's got like a huge following in Japan.
Maybe they'll do the good thing and just drop the xenophobia, but keep the we have to do all this shit within 24 hours.
Yeah. You know what? I'm surprised.
Hmm.
Why didn't 24 have like an entire episode where he's just taking a shit?
Boop, boop, boop. Oh man, the sucks down again.
It just keeps cutting back to him, and he's like,
Nearly off the cheese.
like his phone starts ringing. It cuts to the other guy trying to contact him. Or like an episode of him stuck in traffic.
Just like me. I mean, the fate of the country's dependent on this, but no. Go ahead, LA. Continue with your terrible, terrible traffic. By the way, you lived in LA for a while. How terrible is it?
It's pretty bad.
Because it always seemed bad, and like the few times I've been there, I got annoyed at the traffic jams.
It's not as bad as like say like Texas's traffic. Like it is overstated. But that's because you got to be aggressive.
So I should never drive to LA because I am not aggressive. I am not aggressive.
Yeah. You shouldn't be aggressive. You need to be aggressive. It is overstated, and if you know what you're doing, you can follow the flow. But yeah, it's pretty bad.
We got really off topic. I blame myself for that. Let's move on to the next one.
So Netflix, there's a petition to save Netflix's Daredevil, and from what I've read, Disney actually wants to continue these series, but they legally can't till like 2022.
Or they would just buy the rights from Netflix.
They own the rights. It's just like weird copyright shit that need it's there's right issues that they have to wait.
Ugh.
Like if they don't do it's one of those things that if they start doing it, they face like huge fines even if they own the rights.
Well, here's what they do. They should give it back to Netflix and let them finish the series.
Netflix is the one who got rid of it, not Disney.
Really? I thought
Yeah,
Disney came
Netflix.
down with a legal hammer and was like,
No, it was Netflix who didn't want to do it's Netflix going, well, Disney owns this, so we're not going to make any money off of it.
Oh, gotcha.
But then Disney's like, we'll totally make new ones, but we can't without facing weird, like, there's like legal reasons of why they can't do it.
Well, that sucks. Because Daredevil was definitely one of the better ones.
Yep. Or even, I just kind of want, like, in all of the last season of the Netflix verse has, like, ended at, like, oh, there's supposed to be another season for, like, all of these.
Hmm.
So.
Yeah. Unrelated, apparently Jimmy Buffett did a mic drop at the end of the American anthem during a football game.
Nice. Go Jimmy Buffett.
Parrot heads. Let's move to the bit in other news
Wishing
here.
a wig in Margaritaville.
The new, I encourage this kind of thing. This bit of news here. So, since Into the Spider-Verse, people are now becoming more aware of the multiple Spider-Men. I mean, comic book fans have known them for a while, but not a lot of people, not the average person does. So the common thing nowadays, as like a joke, I guess, is the Spider Sona.
Yeah, what's your Spider Sona?
Drider, black and blue.
Black and blue?
Black and blue. I'm a still. If I got spider powers, man, I'd be all stealthy about it. Black and blue, so you can hide in most situations.
I'm gonna go like Orb Weaver.
Or Weaver.
Orb Weaver.
Gotcha.
Bright colors, large amount of webs.
Oh, the webs are good.
Ambush predator.
I mean, I like this idea. I mean, what there's your Spider Sona. What would your Spider Sona name be?
The Orb.
The Orb.
Well, no, just Orb Weaver.
Or Weaver. There you go.
Orb dash Weaver.
Gotcha. Let's go move to the next one here. X-Men is getting a, mutant drag queen is the literal definition of the situation. They're getting a drag queen who is also a mutant.
So drag queen, that means it's a man dressed as a woman.
Right.
And don't say I'm transphobic. Most drag queens are cis men.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna nail that in there right now. I think it's changing recently, but for the longest time, most drag queens were cis men.
Well, yes, no. I would say in my personal experience of it, because I know a drag queen, it tends to be a lot more on the gay men section nowadays.
Well, that's not you can be a lot of gay men are cis. I didn't say anything about their sexuality.
Oh, you were correct. My apologies.
I'm talking about gender.
That's right. My apologies.
There are trans drag queens, so I'm wondering if it's. So I have questions, and we don't know. I've been reading through this, and I don't have enough answers for this. So is it a man dressed as a woman? Is it a trans? Is it a trans woman? Is it? I don't know.
Let's see. According to the news article here, the character was created by Iceman writer Sina Grace and artist Nathan Stockman. She first appeared in the recent Iceman #4, where we see her introduced to the mutant singer Dazzler on stage. It seems her power is to fade in and out of dark places because she hit the stage dramatically, stepping out of a fan. To shit up fans, been sending Grace fan art to Shade. Okay, I'm just kind of perusing over this. Grace Shade was inspired by several famous real drag queens, most of whom are well known to fans of RuPaul's Drag Race. Former contestants Shea, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Cooley, Dax exclamation point, Monette Exchange, and the Vixen all influenced Shay's look. With the response, the character has already had fans, has already fans. I am screwing that the hell up. Has already had fans. Are already demanding more of her. She'll be in Iceman number 5. She'll be joining a main team. Okay,
So going by her, huh? I mean, I guess it's a trans character.
I'm guessing.
Neat. There needs to be more trans characters in comics.
Yeah.
Though I wish they had gone with a more normal, like, and I'm sounding terrible by saying this. Like, I'm trying to figure out, I'll just say it. I wish there had been more like a normal person trans character, like an everyday Joe Schmo.
So rather than the drag queen, you wanted like the person who just went through the transition.
Yeah, or currently transitioning, but is also a mutant.
Right. It's okay. We both said terrible things in this podcast.
Probably. I'm just trying to figure out the way to say it without being like insensitive to our trans viewers.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, go ahead.
but it's like I would rather just have like the normal, like they're just a normal person, and I
Well-
feel like I you know what, I get it. For some reason, like drag queens are more acceptable to your everyday American person for some reason.
I think because drag has a bigger root in American culture than people will ever realize, as opposed to trans.
True.
I mean, people are just now getting okay with the concept of trans people, but drag queens more or less have been around for many, many years.
Because like drag queens, oh, it's just a show, and they're yeah,
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's right. It just I think you're right. I think they're more accepted in our society right now as opposed to trans, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next bit of news here before we dig ourselves into deeper graves.
And I'm saying this as somebody who identifies as gender fluid.
Yeah, I
Oh.
guess part
It's
of
a-
me is. Go ahead.
And you know what? Well, I just want to say one thing on here. It's not that you get the important thing to remember with all this stuff is it's not that you get everything right. You don't need to know all the terms. You don't need to know everything. Just try.
Yeah,
And that's what we're at least doing. We're at least trying.
well, I'm not. I mean, I'm a. I hate to use the term straight because it sounds like there's something wrong with people who are not. But I'm a hetero cis male, and I try and walk in these positions without sounding entirely stupid.
Yeah, no, the best thing to do, especially for someone like you, is to try your best. Is to at least try, and if somebody calls you out, don't get upset. Just try to do better.
Well, I will say the best way to approach me if I'm wrong about something is not to yell at me, but simply to start a conversation. If I'm wrong about something, then just talk
Most
to me
people
about it.
won't yell at you, but there are people who will yell at you, and I apologize for them.
Well, I understand. I understand that. That's just like the best. I would say the best way to teach me if I'm wrong is just to talk to me about it. If you yell
Right,
at me,
right,
I
right.
might start doing things out of spite. So, start a
Yep.
conversation. Don't yell at me.
All right, let's move on to the next one. There's a power. No, wait. Sorry.
Nope, not quite there yet.
Embezzlement.
So you remember the giant robot in Japan, right?
The Gundam? Yeah,
Yep.
of course I do.
You know, they made like 3 or 4 of them now. They're pretty cool. A former Bandai employee has been caught embezzling money from those giant robots.
Yep. Something on of 100 million yen, almost $1 million. They inflated the budget for things like the LED lighting and some other stuff, which means that the Gundam was actually much cheaper than people thought it was.
Yep. And this surprised me a little. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, why would you embezzle something that's going to be on display for months? Just doesn't seem like a good
Right.
idea. It's like if you had like you would ask for like $200 for a Christmas tree to put in Rockefeller Center, and then you didn't get a Christmas tree. You just bought like a giant plastic one, and then called it good. It's
Yeah.
on display. People can fucking see it.
Right?
It's not like, people who embezzled whenever they were making buildings or anything like that. Most people don't see how those buildings are made, but for a giant robot, doesn't seem like a good idea.
Right? I mean, if you're gonna, I want all that money. Oh wait, 1.8 million total. Like, if put that extra 2 million bucks into the Gundam and make it cooler.
Yeah. Throw in like a voice box. No, that's like a terrible idea. Never mind. I
It
would
doesn't
say,
need to be a voice box, but make the noises.
yeah, there you go.
Like the Gundam turning on noise and the whip whip.
Yeah. Um, I'm surprised they embezzled something. I'm sorry, I'm still surprised they're embezzling something so huge and easy to see.
Right?
Anyway, let's move on to the next one here.
Brock finally gets a girlfriend.
Took him 20 years. Good job.
And she's like just as into him as he is into her.
Which is good. I guess. This is the first real character. How to put it? This is the first real character progression in the 20 years that Pokemon's been on the air.
Right? I dig it. I need to watch more of this Sun and Moon one because apparently it's really good.
I mean, they've done a couple things like Ash's first kiss and Brock's.
And they had well that was no, he had kissed Serena and that was in
Was that X and Y?
X and Y. Yeah.
Showing you how much I pay attention to the Pokemon series.
No, this one has a couple episodes where Brock and Misty show up to like hang out with Ash on Alola.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm like, what?
Nice.
So yeah. But yeah, Brock gets a girlfriend. Go him.
Go him. This next bit of news is kind of weird to me. Just because of how many years it's been. We're getting a Power Rangers fighting game.
Well, Power Rangers has gotten like a huge surge in popularity recently.
Mostly nostalgia, yeah, but
The comics and one of the most recent shows had like it was Mega Force, so their whole gimmick was turning into old Rangers, so they were able to sell like old Ranger toys.
oh, nice.
But this fighting game, I'm hoping it's not just Mighty Morphin, because all the stuff I've seen of it, it looks like it's just Mighty Morphin and Mighty Morphin related, but oh wait, hold on, who is that? I'm scrolling down. That looks like Ninja.
So we were hoping for like Turbo, Zeo.
Yeah, throw
Galaxy,
all of them in there.
Space.
Give me a bit of all of them, because it said it's supposed to be like it's a simplified fighting game, so it's not like a full in-depth fighter like I like. But if you're gonna make it simplified, then double down on the characters.
I will say, honestly, Bandai. I know you're not listening. Actually, it's Cybot. Excuse me, Cybot's the company that owns it. I know you're not listening, but if you were to placate Power Rangers more towards the older crowd, you'd probably have a bigger audience again.
Actually, so that's actually where Power Rangers made a ton of money. Now I mentioned the last, like one of the more recent ones did the Mega Force one. Who do you think's buying their kids the entire old Megazord? Like they brought back all like modern redesigns of all the old Mighty Morphin characters.
Whoa, nice.
And the people who watch Mighty Morphin are at the age of they're having kids who are watching Power Rangers.
I just like they work on this. They may have a comeback. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Plus the comic's really good, and they're going through the whole alternate universe one with the
Evil Tommy.
Green
Yeah,
Ranger.
I know.
Yeah,
I've seen that. Oh, I've read some of it. It's pretty
which
good
I
so
think
far.
is I think Evil Tommy is the pre-order character for this game, and it's Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
Ooh. Might look out for that one.
And it's only $20. Like I actually might get this.
Yeah.
Especially for only $20. I like fighting games. Sure, why not?
It's coming out in April, so you only got 3 months.
Yep.
Speaking of fighting games, Dragon Ball Z is getting a new action RPG title.
Yep. And also in this news with the fighting games is they revealed that there is going to be a season 2 of Dragon Ball FighterZ. And Universe 11, somebody's coming out, so I'm hoping it's probably gonna be Jiren, but I was hoping it'd be Topo. But yeah, that's Dragon Ball Z is getting an action RPG game that's not Xenoverse.
That'll be interesting. I wonder if they're gonna do like Xenoverse and just have like a character you create, or is it that you play through characters and build up stats? Like you're like, oh, you're Goku for a
Oh,
while, or you're Krillin or Yamcha.
that would be that probably what it's. I think it's going to be you're playing as the character and you build up stat.
Okay, so the hard mode is when you Yamcha the entire game, right?
Yep, you're Yamcha the entire game.
Yeah, that's the hard mode, guys.
Yep.
I want it. I don't know if this is a thing. If it does become an option, I will Yamcha an entire thing.
Yeah, in 2019, the project of a new game focusing on the world of Dragon Ball Z begins, and more news coming to Dragon Ball Fighters.
Fighters.
The warrior from Universe 11 is joining the fight. More information to be revealed at the Dragon Ball Fighters World Tour Finals, January 26th, 27th. So in about a week, we'll have more information dropped on that, and I'm excited for Season 2 of the fighting game. Give me some more characters to play with. There's a ton of characters where I'm like, man, I wish that character was in this game.
Right. Let's see. Got.
Ooh,
Go ahead.
I'd like to see Super Brawl. No. What I was talking, you know what I'd like to see in Season 2 is not new characters, but like palette swap outfits. Like, give me like a Great Saiyaman Gohan.
Oh, gotcha.
Stuff like that, like Yardrat, where it's the same character, but they're a complete outfit swap,
Right.
and not just a color swap.
Yeah, I gotcha. I see what you're saying.
Like, you know, give me 17, but like his
like
Dragon Ball Z version instead of his Dragon Ball Super version.
Oh, gotcha. Or they can do some like character concepts, like if 17 had blonde hair, sort of shit.
Stuff like that, or like Krillin with hair.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why he keeps shaving, by the way. In the series, he actually can grow hair. Why does he keep shaving? Anyway.
Because it's actually a common fighting thing. Hair is something you can grab.
Yeah, it didn't stop Goku, Vegeta...
He's also a monk, and he's been shaving his head for fighting for like his entire life. So it's probably just habit.
I get that, but in Dragon Ball Fusion, I probably after the name, he had hair in the beginning and then just shaved it before a fight. I was like, why not just keep the hair? I get that he used to be a monk, but that was like...
Also, you gotta remember, he's human, so his hair kind of falls. He's not Saiyan where his hair stays in the same shape, no matter what he's doing. So
True.
I don't know. I prefer shaved Krillin. Keep shaving your head, Krillin.
No, I prefer it too. It just seemed weird as all. Let's move on to the next one. So the Pinkerton Detective Agency is suing Rockstar Games for using their names. However, I just want to point out that because they use Pinkerton in the game, but the Pinkertons existed before the U.S. copyright law existed as it does now.
Yeah, so, and a ton of things are using the Pinkertons, and they're part of like history.
Yeah, and admittedly, I think that what I think this comes down to is the Pinkertons are not looked in the best light in this game. But if you followed history, they were kind of super terrible people back in the early.
Oh yeah, they're terrible at all.
I'm not saying they are now. I don't know what they're like now. But I'm saying at the time of the game, which would have been in the late 1800s.
So, Rockstar and Take-Two are basically going, nah, you don't have a thing on here. This is like in fair use. Yeah. Which I hope they hold their guns and fight back the Pinkertons.
Yeah.
But the easy way out would be just be to put a patch out and change all their names to, I don't know, the Redder Pounds.
Well, the problem I like what you did there. The problem with that, though, is that the Pinkertons are mentioned so much in the game, you couldn't patch it out with basically just without scrapping the whole game. You can't just because in all the audio, it's brought up more than a few times the main character cast. You'll run into it on occasion on like side characters like NPCs and whatnot.
Gotcha. I don't think the Pinkertons have a leg to stand on.
I agree, but I literally think it's just they're trying to cover up for the fact they have a bad history, and this game points out their bad history.
I can drive a train?
Yeah. I've done it.
I was sold. Why don't I own this game? Oh, that's right, because they weren't paying their employees properly amount.
Yep. I didn't find that out until after I bought the game, and no point in returning it then.
Shows where my priorities lie. Train driving.
I mean, worst comes to worst, there is a train simulator game you can get.
I don't know. So I'm looking through like 100. Found a link on the Pinkerton thing out of 101 things you can do in Red Dead 2. So I'm just kind of looking through it real fast. Train driving.
Yep. Train driving, train robbing, bank hacking, holding up banks, holding people at gunpoint. If you ever wanted to be a bandit, you can be a bandit in this game.
Neat. I want to be a bandit and then kill all the KKK.
You can. I've done that for real. Not even joking. In Deneen, whatever it is, it's the major city in the game. If you walk, because you'll have random encounters. So a couple times, I've come across the KKK. So I just pull out the old trusty Lancaster repeater, and let's just say I am the local chapter of the KKK.
Nice. I'm almost scrolling. I'm not reading the whole thing. I'm just kind of scrolling, looking at the topics real fast. Secret shopping. There's a lot. That's the one thing I like about the Rockstar games. Like GTA 5 was like the same way, where it's like, here's a lot of little shit that you can do that you will never know about.
Yeah, or there's a lot of shit that you can do that is really cool you'll never know about.
Yep. Nice. I do plan on picking it up eventually. It's gonna have to wait a minute, but I do plan on picking it up. Some other stuff that I might pick up. Tofu and Hunk conferred for RE2 remake.
I never played RE2, so...
It's the best or second best Resident Evil, depending on who you ask.
Really? Because most people I've talked to say RE4 was the best.
That's the other one.
Oh, okay. I hated RE4.
It's RE2 and RE4 are the best ones. It's the Leon games.
Yeah. I hated RE4.
Really?
Stop and shoot.
Well, that's okay. Then you won't like RE2, at least the original one, because it's even worse.
Fucking hate that. It doesn't make sense. Zombies are coming at you. Don't just stand there. Fucking run and shoot.
Though it looks like RE2 Remake is taking a thing out of RE7, so you can actually move and shoot. And
Good.
I was reading, somebody was explaining, I have the demo, I don't know if it's still good, I just haven't had a chance to play it, of, like, the zombies will keep going after you, even after you've blown limbs off.
Oh, damn.
And so, yeah.
Huh.
I will probably pick it up. I really liked Resident Evil 2. And it's been a while since I've owned a Resident Evil game. I think the last one I owned was RE4.
I was never a fan of the series. And it just came down to when the first set of games came out, I didn't have a console. My first actual console that I owned was the Dreamcast, so it wasn't really Resident Evil at the time. The second one was the GameCube, and the first Resident Evil I could play was RE4, and I fucking...
And if you didn't like RE4's combat's way more, like, movable than RE2. Like, it was the first one that was like that. Everyone before it was tank controls and stop and fire, tank controls.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid those games then. Sorry.
They're good games, but if you can't do the controls, I totally understand.
Well, my whole thing is, like, it runs on logic. I get it. There's zombies coming at you. You need to take time to shoot. But sometimes, you know what's a really good idea? Running the fuck away and just shooting at a general position. That sometimes is a pretty good idea.
Also, speaking of tank controls, the original Tomb Raider also had tank controls.
Yes, it did. That one I actually do remember. I did play the original...
and that's kind of how the original Resident Evils played, was like that.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Activision and Bungie split up.
Yep. So they managed to keep their rights to Destiny whenever they split up, but Bungie has left Activision, which it is a little surprising.
I'm kind of glad, because Activision they're the part of the reason why Destiny 2 came out when it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
They should have just put more money into Destiny 1, because it basically split the player base of Destiny and made a game that was less polished than Destiny.
Right.
And it's like, no, You should just do what you should do. You're working with Blizzard. Blizzard has been doing WoW for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
All right. If you want a better graphical put more patches out, put more DLC out, put out, a graphical update. You should have just kept pushing Destiny instead of forcing Destiny 2 on people.
Well, I mean, admittedly, Activision is no EA, and how terrible they are. They still have not had the best history as of late.
They're bad, and I wish Blizzard would have joined up with Bungie and left as well and made it Bungie Blizzard.
Blizzard Bungie? No, I like your idea.
B&B? Wait, that's where I work.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, but not unheard of. Bungie has always been kind of jumping around, though, because they were not originally owned by Microsoft. They were an indie company back in the day, and then they were bought by Microsoft and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm not surprised by this, but it did come out of nowhere, at least on the consumer end. I can't say what it was like on the, on their side.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Bungie. Hopefully you come out with something better.
Hopefully it'll come out with something I should play.
Yep. Kingdom Hearts, speaking of stuff that I probably won't play, Kingdom Hearts 3 Epilogue will be patched in after the launch.
My assumption is that the CD... How to put this? There's not enough room on the CD. That's my assumption here.
Yeah, okay, here's what I expect to happen when Kingdom Hearts comes out. I've probably said this before.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to have to be an entire disc of just explaining shit.
Honestly?
Because so much happened between Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3 that if the last Kingdom Hearts you played was 2, you're going to be so confused.
I am one of those people, by the way. I
am too.
I've only played 1, 2, and Chain of Memories. I have made this joke before, by the way, but I'm actually looking to get Kingdom Hearts 3 after I get the Story So Far edition, which is every game leading up to 3. Mm-hmm. And when I actually get it, I'm honestly... I'm going to make this joke here. I don't believe it's going to be ready because I'm expecting them to take it off my shelf. I'm just expecting just like the Square Enix people to come to my house, take it off my shelf, and then leave because they won't let us to have.
Shelf.
Huh?
Oh, the publisher also said it has plans to patch in a recap of previous Kingdom Hearts games on launch day.
Good, fucking good.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories HD Remix Death by Dawn 7.8.
By 35.4 days, yes.
What? What's going on?
What is your naming scheme, Square?
What? I'm concerned.
Yeah. So next bit of news here is that a former lawyer for Gearbox is in a lab.
Oh, yep. Time for this bi-weekly's who shit the bed the most.
Yeah, that's nearly a segment at this point. I'm making a joke, but how often do we talk about who shat the bed?
Yeah, I think because we haven't done a Fuck You Five in a while, but so let's do our new segment of shitting the bed.
Yeah, fucking shitting the bed apparently. Oh, jeez. Don't worry, I can work on the sound effect.
Huh?
Randy.
Oh boy.
Randy Pitchford, ex-lawyer for Gearbox.
I want to do this the proper way.
Oh, go ahead.
Ex-lawyer, Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford, and ex-lawyer locked in a nasty legal battle over $12 million of basically stolen assets. But that's not the worst part.
Go on.
Do you want to know what the worst part is?
Go on.
Also, so he had a USB drive that was found that had a ton of company secrets on it.
Mm-hmm.
And child porn. Yeah. Or at least it looked like child porn. I don't know if it's been proven that it was child porn, but it looked like underage pornography.
Now,
when the $12 million of embezzlement isn't the big issue, there's a problem.
Yeah.
You don't fucked up.
Yeah. First off, don't download child porn. Second off, even if you're going to do something as stupid as that, don't combine it with your trade secrets into the same, hard flash drive. Sounds like a stupid idea. Also, don't download child pornography.
Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford and the company's former general counsel Wade Callender are suing each other in a nasty legal battle, with both making extreme fraudulent claims. The game developer, known for creating the Borderlands franchise, previously filed a lawsuit against Callender back in November last year, claiming he borrowed money from Gearbox for tuition and a home loan, which he failed to pay back. They also claimed Callender's abused the privilege of credit card access by charging a number of personal expenses on their account. Okay, that's typical embezzlement.
Right.
Callender, who acted on Gearbox's lawyer between 2010 to 2018, filed a lawsuit a month later. He claims Pitchford violated numerous terms in his contract. In his lawsuit, Callender alleges Pitchford received a personal secretive executive bonus from publisher Take-Two of $12 million, which was paid against employee royalties. His most disturbing allegations involve a USB drive Pitchford is claimed to have left in a Texas restaurant containing sensitive corporate documents, along with, as the lawsuit states, Randy Pitchford's personal collection of underage pornography.
Oh, boy.
In an unearthed 2014 interview, Pitchford acknowledged there was porn on the USB drive, clarifying it wasn't underage but barely legal pornography, which he misplaced at the drive at a Medieval Times restaurant in Dallas. First of all, why are you carrying around a USB drive with important corporate documents on there? And why are you storing your porn next to your corporate documents?
Yeah. Also, who goes to Medieval Kingdom nowadays? I'm joking.
Medieval Times is actually really cool.
I've never been there. I've heard good things
Oh,
about
it's
it.
super.
Anyway.
It's actually super fun. And you get into it cheering for your knight, and you eat a half a chicken.
I do like the idea of eating half a chicken.
It's actually super fun, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, check it out sometime. The nearest one is literally Dallas, so it's going to be come on.
That sucks. Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, Jesus Christ, man. On both situations, these are both just terrible people. One person's embezzling, the other one's just looking at child porn. What is wrong with them?
Well, the child porn is we're not going to compare child porn to embezzling. One is obviously
no,
much
obviously
worse.
not. I'm just saying.
And you know what? Depending on who you ask, well, according to most senators, I think the embezzling is worse. It's not. It's not. I'm being facetious here, but
it's really
yeah.
not, yeah. It's just fucked up that both these people are both terrible people, and one is worse than the other, obviously.
I hope Gearbox does the right thing and fires who they need to fire.
Yeah, they really do. Let's move on to the
next
one.
bet shitting. We're Fallout 76. God damn it, Bethesda. Can you go a week without shitting yourself?
Apparently not. So,
secret development room has been found that players have gotten in. Bethesda has no idea how they got in, and there's an NPC in there.
Interesting note. They've already they've already patched it out. They finally found out what was wrong. Also, I get that they've been using the same engine since the Morrowind days. Why do they not just not have that room? Why do they just not put it in the Why do you have a room in your game that has all the items?
Well, it looks like it's a testing area for developers, which you should just patch that room out when you put the game out.
Yeah,
I don't.
The game.
And I was just talking with a friend yesterday about how Bethesda needs a new engine, like
they really do,
from the bottom up engine, because they technically have a different engine than they had for Morrowind, but it's all like built on the same engine.
Yeah, it's what they've been doing is they've been building. It's always the same engine, but they keep trying to improve that same engine. That's what it comes down to. And this current one, their current one is not MMO ready.
No, it is not.
No, it is not. And then seriously, why would you leave a developer room in there? I'm sorry. What did you guys think?
Right? I don't know.
They've already started soft banning players, by the way, for entering the.
Oh yeah, if you enter it, you get banned, but not if you have items from there. The only thing they're doing is if this item's not out yet, they'll delete it from your account. But like what people have been doing is they've been going in the room, grabbing everything, dropping it outside, having somebody, because it's only if you go in the room that you get banned, having somebody else pick the items up, and then they're selling the items.
Yeah, that's why they've reframed what they're doing. Now they're gonna start banning people who took the items.
Yep.
They're soft bans, so basically just means you're. It's kind of like when you're kicked off of Facebook for a few days. They're just banned
Yeah.
for a few days. But still, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
What? Yeah,
And
whatever. Anyway, go on.
we can talk. We've been talking about Fallout every day. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That game. My friend made a good point. It still should be in beta. Like, if it was just in beta still, it'd be like, oh, this is actually pretty good. But no, this is supposed to be the full release.
That would have been the perfect excuse if they had released it. It's like, all right, guys, this is not the full version. This is our beta. Yeah, that's it. This is our beta. That would have saved them a lot of criticism.
Yep, it would have.
And bad breath.
And Fortnite maker Epic gets an F from the BBB.
I'm not surprised by this at all.
I'm not either.
Epic
Fortnite
Games
is terrible.
Well, Epic Games has been just. Speaking of companies who shat the bed, they've been doing that a lot lately.
Who? Yeah.
Boy. There's nothing to say about that one. Epic's been sucking it.
They've made millions of dollars off of a free-to-play game.
Yep. Because you can buy little. It's like back when Team Fortress made it was free to play. They just made you could buy hats and shit. That's the same idea.
Yep.
You're just buying.
Also,
covers.
I hate the floss. That dance move that all the kids are doing because of this game. It is the dumbest fucking dance move I've ever seen.
I hate it so much. I've never seen it because I don't follow fads like that.
Believe me, you've seen it. You just don't realize what it is.
Okay. I thought the dab was stupid.
The dab is also stupid.
Let's move on to the next bit here. So, China managed to grow a plant on the moon, and then it died. Now,
Moon to blame! I blame the moon! The moon will not allow anything to grow on it. It feasts upon the souls of anything alive.
now,
Don't you know the moon isn't a giant ball of rocks? It's actually an eldritch abomination.
oh, okay.
Yeah. How else do you think the tides work?
I mean, I always thought it was a circulation of gravity from the moon to the Earth, and it's just
I mean, no, it's the moon trying to pull the water away from Earth, but Earth, it's too far away. And that's also why we never went back to the moon, is because we found out it was alive.
I feel like you're trying to start a cult here. I dig it.
Yep.
No, we make the joke. This is actually interesting because it proves that we can at least we've learned to start the process and how to grow on other areas. So there's some good news there. We've learned to start the process. Yes, it failed, but I mean, in science, here's a little hint: there's a lot of failure in science. We just
There
learn.
is.
We just learn from our mistakes from then on. That's how we keep getting better.
Yep.
I love this next bit of news. So, Brian, I know you're not a Christmas person. We've talked about this on the show. But would you say that Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
Yes, I would.
You know what? And the NYPD and LAPD would agree with you. Last year, in the latter half of last year, we just didn't cover it at the time because I didn't have it. But on December 24th, NYPD tweeted this on their official Twitter. On this Christmas Eve, we'd like to acknowledge our partners at LIPD HQ, who have been working with us to protect Christmas since Hans Gruber's 1980 attack on the Nakatomi Plaza. Hashtag Detective John McClane, hashtag yes, it is a Christmas movie. LAPD replied with, on this Christmas Eve, we would like to acknowledge our partners at NYPD News for their continued partnership. They'll always be more welcome to follow in McClane's footsteps and come to the better coast and have a party. Yippee-ki-yay and ho-ho-ho. So, I would say...
The West Coast is the best coast.
I mean, that's not what I was going to say. But, I mean, if literally the two NYPDs, which would have been crucial to the movie, agreed that it was a Christmas movie, then surely it is a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
And only one of two Christmas movies I actually like. last bit of news is it's an end of an era, I guess.
Machinima, which it was basically like we talked about Machinima earlier with Red versus Blue, but apparently the company who owns Machinima now basically put all their videos onto private, and that's not a good sign.
Nope. It looks like it might be the end of Machinima, which is a shame because, well, I mean, I've heard good things and bad things about them, but the majority it came down to is they have been an early provider of content in the internet age. So
Yep.
it's kind of a death of an era, if you will.
They were the start of the Super Best Friends, which also died late last year, early this year. They split up. They were also part of Machinima. Like a ton of people started on Machinima.
Yeah. As you had mentioned, Red vs. Blue was on there for a while. They went solo.
Red
a few
vs.
years
Blue,
ago.
Maximilian Dude, who does like some of the best fighting game things, was let go by them. Like a ton of people were just like fired and let go,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like, oh, well, that sucks. I hope somebody saved all their videos.
Yeah. It's the end of an era, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh well, it happens. Plus, YouTube's kind of not great right now.
Yeah, my friend who is a YouTuber, over at Direction Challenge. By the way, if you subscribe to him and he reaches 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to pour glitter covered ooze over him for a YouTube video. Anyway,
Neat.
yeah, that's official. He tweeted at us about it. Check it out on our Twitter. I will be doing this. Anyway, that's Direction Challenge. Regardless, he talks about how YouTube has been screwing over their developers. It's really hard to get things monetized right now, and it wouldn't be so bad, except they won't tell their content creators what they can and cannot do.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And right now, it's just like a lot of speculation, but they won't tell you what is wrong, like what is causing their stuff to be demonetized. And I blame the Logan brothers for that one.
Of course.
I mean, it literally was the cause of the demonetization for many videos was because of Logan Paul and the dead person in the forest video.
Of course it is.
So, way to screw things for the rest of us, Logan. Anyway.
Yep.
We have one more thing here. I don't know what it was, so let's go.
I don't know what it is either. You put the link in there on our
on
points of interest, and it's a dead link, so...
You know what? I couldn't even tell you what it is now. I'm sure it was something interesting and entertaining. I don't know what it is, so we'll ignore it then.
Alright, I guess I have one other thing. I bought a computer.
Oh, nice. What is your spec?
It'll show up in February, around the beginning of February, end of January, but I brought a really nice gaming laptop.
Nice.
So, I'm excited for that.
Do you have any plans for it currently?
Not currently. I want to play with it a bit before I start making plans.
I gotcha. Figure out what it can and cannot do.
Yep. But I might try streaming.
Nice.
Yep. So I guess that's it for this week's episode of Geekus Speakus.
Actually, I did receive a bit of good news at my work the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm getting a pay raise.
Nice.
Yeah. I can't say what it is yet, but I mean, let's just say it's significant enough.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, that's it for this episode. If you want to check us out on Twitter, we're at Geekus Speakus. Facebook.
You can find me at Arxist.
Yep. Our Twitter page is facebook.com/Geekus Speakus. Email us at gspeakus@gmail.com. I actually did get our Tumblr back up and running.
Neat.
Yeah, if you look on there, all of our shows have been posted to our Tumblr. So if you want to check us out on Tumblr and you want to listen to an episode, we now post officially on Tumblr.
Cool. We do not post on SoundCloud because SoundCloud was just not cost effective and had nobody listen to us on there. Yep. I will say that.
And also, we couldn't import any RSS feeds. I know people don't know what that means, but basically it's just a giant pain in the neck. They're not compatible with a lot of other places. Anyway.
So, but we are available on basically everywhere else. Find us on Google, find us on iTunes, give us 5-star reviews, and you don't even have to listen to us, just download us and review us.
Yeah.
We can cheat the system. Because that's what they look at. They look at reviews and downloads.
I'd still like you guys to if you want to interact with us, please feel free to do so. If you want to talk with me about how I'm wrong about something regarding trans or drag queens or whatnot, feel free to do so in a polite manner.
Yep, hit me up on my Twitter as well. And occasionally I do poke my head into the Geekus Speakus Twitter to add my 2 cents.
And I think that's it for this week. So
I do want to add one more thing. I'm really annoyed that Young Justice Season 3 is coming out episodically and not dropped at us all at once. Because I don't want to pay for DC thingy, so I think I'm just going to wait for the whole series to finish, or pirate it before I try it. Like, I'm either going to wait for the whole series, get the week of DC Universe, watch it all at once, and then be done with it.
I'm annoyed because they said that the new season of Titans is still supposed to be on Netflix, and it's not on Netflix.
Only only not America. That's basically it. But you might be able to get away with that if you have a VPN.
It's bullshit that, by the way, hold on, that's bullshit that we can't get that in America. It's literally an American show based on an American company.
There's a ton of stuff like that, and it's because of the DC Universe is only available in the States. Yeah. There's a ton of Netflix shows like that where, like, it's available elsewhere because it's the only option they have.
Jesus, I'm freaking good.
Yeah.
Bitch. Anyway,
yeah.
Oh well. Let's go ahead and end this episode like we do every week.
All right.
My name is Dean.
And I'm Brian.
Have a good night, everyone.
Peace out, y'all.
Thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode. If you like our shows, you can stay up to date on our social media accounts. You have Facebook at facebook.com/Geekus Speakus, or you can find us on Twitter at Geekus Speakus. We're also on Tumblr. If you want to message us, you can feel free to do so at gspeakus@gmail.com. Feel free to contact us, give any opinions or any suggestions. I would like to thank the band The Spinwires for their song Girls Like You. You can find them on their Bandcamp for the newest albums. I'll also like to thank Tom for his awesome logo art that we got. Last bit here is I would like to thank you for, listening to our show. We really appreciate it. Feel free to, find us on pretty much anything nowadays. So Google Play, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Feel free to rate, subscribe, and just share it with your friends and family if you think we're appropriate. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for listening. Have a good night.